The Orange County Coroner's Office is investigating the death of a woman who passed away several days after getting her second Moderna vaccine. The family says the mother and grandmother was healthy before she got her shot and that her sudden death came as a shock. Eyewitness News reporter Jessica DeNova has more.
This Orange County son worries his mom died because of her second Moderna COVID-19 vaccine dose. A conversation with staff at the OC Coroner's Office about Griselda Flores' death raised red flags for Richard Cardenas and his family.
They made it seem like this was not the first call that they had.
OC Assistant Chief Deputy Coroner Brad Olson says that's right. Olson tells Eyewitness News a handful of deaths, including Griselda's, are under investigation because they happened 1 to 3 days after the person got a COVID-19 vaccine dose.
And that means our doctors want to run some additional studies, whether it be toxicology, micros, or just a review of medical records to see their treatment course and look for those other underlying conditions. But we haven't come to the conclusion yet that the vaccine had anything directly to do with the causes of death.
Cardenas says his mom was a healthy, outgoing, hardworking mother and grandmother.
Happy, smiling, always, telling me she loves me.
The day after her second shot on April 14th at a CVS in Orange, Griselda complained of the expected side effects, chills, body aches, and a fever.
She looked really pale though, really pale. And she just said she was tired and she was gonna go home and sleep.
2 days after her second dose, Griselda's family says they found her dead in her room.
I'm very, very worried about public safety because now it's just like if my mom passed away, how many other people are gonna pass away?
CDC data shows in the U.S. there were less than 2 deaths per 100,000 COVID-19 vaccines administered, and death investigations didn't find vaccinations contributed to patient deaths. A person has a higher likelihood of dying if they contract the COVID-19 virus, according to California Department of Public Health numbers. 1,660 deaths per 100,000 cases. Olson says the deaths pending investigation date back to January, and the decedents, both male and female, received either the Moderna or Pfizer shot. The results of further studies may come 3 months after death, maybe longer.
If our doctors recognize something anywhere during the death investigation process that would lead to a public health or public safety concern, we would immediately raise those alarms through our Orange County healthcare partners.
Finally, the wait is over.
Tonight, Abigail Buginski is a millionaire just for getting vaccinated.
I still can't believe it.
She became the first winner of Ohio's $1 million vaccination jackpot.
It feels like this is happening to a different person.
And 14-year-old Joseph Costello won a full-ride college scholarship.
I was very happy about it.
The Ohio lottery, just one of several state incentives to get people vaccinated as travel ramps up to pre-pandemic levels ahead of the holiday weekend.
Yeah.
You feel comfortable traveling right now?
I do. I've been traveling over the past year. I feel pretty safe, yeah.
Travel experts predict 37 million people will get away this weekend, with nearly 2.5 million Americans boarding airplanes, up almost 600% from this time last year.
We expect this week to be 115,000, 120,000 passengers each day.
Miami International Airport offering on-site vaccinations for travelers. This as more states lift mask restrictions across the country. New Jersey will no longer require masks indoors starting Friday, just a day before Massachusetts fully reopens. New York sending mobile vaccination buses to the beach, as Connecticut's governor encourages people to enjoy the summer.
Today, I'm telling you, get out of the damn house.
But not everyone is totally ready to return to normal.
If people aren't social distancing, wearing a mask, then I won't be in that area.
President Biden wants 70% of all American adults to have received at least one shot by July 4th. So far, already about half of all states are on track to make that deadline.
Here tonight at 10, the first winners of Ohio's Vax-A-Million lottery are being drawn today.
Well, those two will then be announced this Wednesday. And 2 News reporter Caroline Morse spoke with health leaders about the increase in vaccinations.
Governor DeWine said the biggest increase in vaccinations is actually among our younger residents. He says the state is reporting 94% increase among 16 to 17-year-olds having received their dose, which he believes will make a huge impact this summer as restrictions continue to loosen.
Having more people vaccinated really allows us to get back to normal.
Over 2.7 million Ohioans have registered for the $1 million drawing, although the coronavirus dashboard shows over 5 million Ohioans would be eligible to enter. Now, since the lottery announcement, vaccinations among 18 to 19-year-olds have increased by 46%, and 20 to 49-year-olds increased by 55%. Now, health leaders believe Ohio is in a good position to loosen restrictions June 2nd.
But we talk about loosening the restrictions, not abandoning them. We still are going to be having some of those situations where it is smart and safe to continue using the mask or having as much as a social distance as necessary to be able to keep each other safe.
The biggest local impact is being felt in Miami County. It's among the top 10 in the highest vaccination rates in the state, with a 129% increase since the lottery announcement. Just last week, Miami County moved to the lowest public emergency level and is averaging less than 50 cases per 100,000. They attribute their success to the community working together.
Open dialogue is what's really needed, because there's a lot of information out there, a lot of good information, a lot of not so good information. So I think just people who haven't gotten a vaccine yet and they're on the fence, have that dialogue. Don't be afraid to ask, because people who have gotten it will share their story.
Right now, the state is averaging about 90 cases per 100,000 residents, which Governor DeWine and health leaders are confident that we will be close to averaging that 50-case goal next week when restrictions loosen on June 2nd. In Dayton, I'm Caroline Morse, 2 News, working for you.
This morning, a major turning point, with COVID cases in the U.S. dropping to levels not seen in nearly a year.
Our 7-day average is about 27,700 cases per day. The last time the 7-day average of cases per day was this low was June 18, 2020.
More states lifting mask mandates this week, but Iowa and Texas, they're going a step further, banning local governments and schools from requiring face coverings. In a statement, Texas Governor Greg Abbott writing in part, Texans, not government, should decide their best health practices. Those defying the executive order could face a fine of up to $1,000. This weekend, the push toward normalcy will be on full display in Florida with the return of the South Beach Wine and Food Festival, utilizing a variety of safety protocols, including dogs that can sniff out COVID.
If a dog sits in front of you, doesn't mean that you're positive. It means that we need to pull you out of line and do a rapid test.
But even as reopenings are ramping up, the pace of vaccinations is trending down, dropping almost 50% from its April peak, according to the CDC. To give these shots a boost, states like Maryland, New York, Ohio, and Oregon are giving the vaccinated a chance to win a cash prize.
You could win up to $5 million if you get vaccinated next week.
If you need luck with love, dating apps are offering incentives too. Tinder, OkCupid, and Hinge, among others, are launching new features to encourage vaccinated singles to swipe right.
We have finally found the one thing that makes us all more attractive: a vaccination.
And in an effort to reach those who still haven't been vaccinated, people are actually going door to door promoting vaccine awareness. And we're seeing this play out in cities like Detroit, San Diego, as well as right here in New York City. Kristen, Peter.
All right, Kathy Park in New York. Thank you, Kathy.
We need everyone to get vaccinated. So we know we have to make it convenient. We know we have to make it easy. We know we need the opportunities for people to speak to their trusted community voices, doctors, et cetera. We're doing all that. But we also know that incentives help. They really do. And so we've been announcing free tickets, gift cards, all sorts of incentives to encourage people. A lot of people are ready to get vaccinated. They just haven't gotten around to it. They need a little extra incentive. We're doing that now. And we are going to have a live correspondent this morning talk about this, and from a site that means a lot to all of us as New Yorkers, because one thing I think that does unite New Yorkers is a love of Shake Shack. So live from the original Shake Shack location in Madison Square Park, the CEO of Shake Shack, and he is generously joining into this incentive effort, and I welcome him. My pleasure to introduce CEO Randy Garutti. Welcome, Randy.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor. Good morning, New Yorkers. I'm Randy Garutti, the CEO of Shake Shack, and we are here live in Madison Square Park at the original Shack. 20 years ago, this Shack was born as a humble New York City hot dog cart to raise a little money for this park, and even today, all of our rent goes directly to paying for this park's beautification. We were born and raised in this city. We are proudly headquartered here in New York, and we are a New York company. And this year, we've been working hard to take care of our team, and our team has been working hard to take care of the recovery of this city and our communities. And we've got one more we want to add for you, New York. You know, these incredible mobile vaccine buses that are serving some of our most underserved communities here in New York. When you get your vaccine over this next few days, we're going to get you with a free Shack Burger card every time you get your vaccine. Even better than that, our 25 Shacks around New York City. Anytime you go for the next month, you're there grabbing your burger, your chicken sandwich, show us your vaccine card. We'll get you free fries on us to say thank you. We are so excited. We love this city. We live here too. And we're going to get back. Get your vax, get your Shack, and let's gather up as a community again. The Shake Shack team is here for you in New York. We'll see you soon all around New York City and Shack.
Thank you so much, Randy. Thank you to the whole Shake Shack team. This is really going to help us out. And did you say free fries when you get vaccinated? I got vaccinated. You're saying I could get this? These delicious fries? Wait a minute. But there's also a burger element to this? Let me check with Bill Neathart. Is it too early in the day to eat a burger? No. This could be breakfast? Okay. I want you to look at this and think about, again, some people love hamburgers, some don't. Really want to respect all ways of life. But if this is appealing to you, just think of this when you think of vaccination. Vaccination. I'm getting a very good feeling about vaccination right this moment. Thank you to Randy Garutti and, of course, Danny Meyer, who's doing so much to help us with the recovery, and the entire team. I've got to finish chewing for a moment. I think that would be more dignified, don't you think? Yeah. So, everyone, we're going to keep rolling out incentives. We're going to keep making it easy. We're going to keep making it fun. We really, really need to get everyone vaccinated. So keep watching, keep joining in. Choose the thing you love, choose the incentive that moves you, and come on out and get vaccinated. Okay, now, this is pretty good, but we will now go even higher up the vaccination scale here. I've said that one of the great reasons to go out and get vaccinated is bring the city back, full reopening, and let's have something historic and amazing. The summer of New York City, a summer of joy, a summer of culture, a summer of energy. We can do this, and one of the things you're going to see in New York City this summer is live music everywhere. It's going to be a big part of what gives us energy, what gives us hope. I am very proud to say that two of our biggest music festivals, outdoor festivals, are making a major comeback this year, 2021, New York City. Global Citizen Live will be back, and the Governor's Ball at Citi Field will be back, and that is a very big deal.
The promotion is going to incentivize people who've not gotten their vaccination to get it, and it's to reward those who have gotten the vaccination.
We've seen a little bit of an increase in appointments, but not a huge one. But it's definitely helping. I will tell you that.
Well, Well, tonight there is a new incentive to get vaccinated against COVID-19. Maryland is giving away cash and will start daily lottery drawings next week for a share of $2 million. WJZ investigator Mike Helgren is live at M&T Bank Stadium with some details and reaction. Mike.
Denise, Ohio did something similar, and they put out a press release today and says that vaccinations are up 28% among those 16 and older in that state since the lottery was announced. Maryland is hoping some of that magic will rub off here, and if you've already gotten vaccinated, you're automatically entered.
Remember, Maryland, get your shot for a shot to win.
Governor Hogan, a lottery ball by his side, announced the big incentive. Starting next Tuesday, the Maryland Lottery will start giving out $40,000 prizes every day for 40 days. And on the 4th of July, the state will draw a grand prize $400,000 winner.
Maybe it'll just get people to pay more attention and finally go out and get vaccinated so we can get finished.
Think twice about getting a vaccination?
It's interesting. I would think twice about it, hearing that. I think like anybody would. At the end of the day, though, my personal choice, it wouldn't be because of the money.
You have to be 18 or older, a resident of Maryland, and have received at least one shot in the state. To protect privacy, names will be matched with computer-generated numbers, and the lottery will draw the daily winner. It's a move to boost demand for vaccinations, which has slowed.
It's depressing that it's necessary to have to incentivize people with money. To me, it's the ultimate first-world problem to have the money to do that. Listen, if it works, I'm all for it.
The money will not be taken from lottery proceeds dedicated to education or other causes. It will come from the Maryland Lottery's marketing budget.
People who have already been vaccinated also get a chance, and they stay in the drawings every time for 40 days. So this not only encourages new people to get vaccinated and to get into the drawings, but it also rewards those good Marylanders who have already gotten their vaccinations.
And if you win, you'll be notified by the contact information you put down when you got your vaccine. You can remain anonymous. So good luck, everybody. Reporting live at M&T Bank Stadium, Mike Helgren, WJZ.
Push to vaccinate the nation is kicking into high gear. Nearly 60% of Americans have gotten at least one dose. Now states and companies are going all out, providing incentives to those who have not been vaccinated, offering everything from lottery tickets to a seat at the Super Bowl. Whit Johnson has the latest from one of the schools in New York offering free scholarships. Good morning, Whit.
Robin, good morning. The 7-day average of vaccine doses administered in this country has dropped by 50% in just the last 6 weeks. So states are ramping up those incentives, everything from cash prizes to college scholarships. This as scientists reveal new research about immunity for those who've already recovered from the virus.
This morning, new research examining how long protection against COVID could last. 2 encouraging new studies suggest people who recovered from the virus had some immunity long after antibodies faded, even a year later. Researchers found cells in the bone marrow still remember the COVID infection. The news coming as new blockbuster incentives are announced in the race to vaccinate. CVS Health launching a new sweepstakes. Thousands of prizes available, like a trip to the Super Bowl for 2 with game tickets, airfare, and hotel included, a VIP package to the iHeart Music Festival, a 1-week Norwegian cruise, or 4-day trip to Bermuda. New York State raffling off 50 scholarships to 12 to 17-year-olds who get vaccinated, room and board included to state colleges. The winners will be announced in drawings over the next 5 weeks.
For a parent, you're worried about paying college tuition? Tell your 12 to 17-year-old, go out, get a shot.
Finally, the wait is over.
And overnight in Ohio, officials announcing the first winner of the state's Vax-A-Million lottery. Abigail Bugensky from Silverton, Ohio, 22 years old, the first in the state to win $1 million jackpot just for getting the shot. Another winner, Joseph Costello, getting a full ride scholarship.
A lot of people excited about those prizes, but back to that question of immunity for those who've already recovered from COVID. Some health experts suggest that if you've had the virus, getting the vaccine can almost act like a booster shot, supercharging those antibodies with protection lasting much longer.
California is giving away the largest pot of vaccine prize money in the U.S. in an attempt to get millions more inoculated before the state fully reopens next month. A total of $116.5 million in cash and gift cards will be up for grabs to those who will get vaccinated in the state before June 15th. The prizes will include $1.5 million each for 10 Californians. 30 other people can win $50,000 each.
We are setting aside incentive cards, 2 million incentive cards on a first-come, first-served basis for individuals that are eligible to get a vaccine that seek to get a vaccine. That's effective today in the state of California. If you're 12 years or older, you can receive a $50 incentive card. On June 15th, we are going to make available to 10 individuals everybody that has been vaccinated in the state of California, with a few caveats, and I can talk through those caveats. But the vast majority of Californians eligible that have received a first dose, those that seek to get a first dose before June 15th, $15 million that night will be distributed, $1.5 million prizes for 10 individuals.
California is following the lead of Ohio, which just announced the first winners of its $1 million COVID-19 vaccine lottery. Abigail Bujenski, a 22-year-old female engineer, is now officially the first vaccine millionaire in the U.S.
I think it was a great idea. Just hearing the numbers of how many people signed up just because of this vaccine million idea, it's clearly working, and I think that's great.
The World Health Organization says COVAX facility needs $2 billion in additional funding by June to sustain vaccine deliveries to poor countries. The COVAX facility has so far delivered 70 million vaccine doses to 126 countries, but it faces a shortfall of 190 million doses at the end of June due to the second wave of COVID-19 infections in India, which prompted the country to stop vaccine exports. The WHO's COVAX facility aims to deliver 2 billion COVID-19 vaccines by the end of 2021 and 1.8 billion doses by early 2022.
The ongoing vaccine crisis is a scandalous inequity that's perpetuating the pandemic. More than 75% of all vaccines have been administered in just 10 countries. I'm calling on member states to support a massive push to vaccinate at least 10% of the population of every country by September, and a drive to December to achieve our goal of vaccinating at least 30% by the end of the year. This is crucial to stop severe disease and death.
Well, think about this one. Could a vaccine lottery be coming to North Carolina? Thanks for joining us. I'm Bill Young.
And I'm Liz Ortiz. Governor Roy Cooper says he is talking to other state leaders about doing that as more states try to boost the vaccination rates. Our Capitol reporter Michael Hyland live in Raleigh. Michael, you talked one-on-one with the governor about this. Where does this stand?
You know, well, he's seeing some of the same things we are. For example, at this vaccination site here in Raleigh today, they've only had 5 people come by for vaccinations. The governor told me he's been talking with both Democrats and Republicans about trying a lottery in North Carolina. The federal government recently gave states the clear go-ahead to use federal money for a lottery. They saw the success Ohio had recently, and officials at the White House called it a good idea. This week, the state gave away its first $1 million prize. And after announcing the lottery, the Associated Press reported the vaccination rate there jumped by 1/3. But the pace of vaccinations is still not as high as it was earlier this year. I talked with Governor Roy Cooper about this as vaccinations have slowed here in North Carolina. He said he is having conversations about a lottery.
We're certainly looking at what other states have done and looking at their numbers to see if it's worked. I've talked with several legislators on both sides of the aisle about the potential of doing that kind of thing here, and I think most everybody's of the opinion is whatever works, whatever gets people vaccinated, we want to try.
At least 7 states are trying lotteries. California just announced one yesterday offering up to $1.5 million. The governor's office tells me there is no specific proposal for this at this point if it does indeed actually ever happen here in North Carolina. But they say they are closely watching what other states are doing and want to see how this works out in those states and what effect it ultimately does have on their vaccinations. Live in Raleigh, Michael Hyland, CBS 17 News.
An epidemic, either naturally caused or intentionally caused, is the most likely thing to cause, say, 10 million excess deaths, either naturally caused or intentionally caused.
So, working in the ER, I'm now seeing more people come in who are having complications from the COVID shot. They're short of breath for 2 weeks after they received the shot 2 weeks before. They're having temporary neurologic episodes where their legs don't work and they fall flat on their face. They're having dizziness, shortness of breath, and lightheadedness and feel like they're going to pass out. And so I'm seeing more, at this point, more complications from the shot in Lubbock, a college town, 18-year-olds coming in excellent health before the shot, coming in 4 days later with 4 days of symptoms, or a gentleman who's short of breath for 2 weeks, or the lady who falls flat on her face. And so I am seeing complications afterwards. That's being reported. But in this last shift, I had no COVID patients come in 48 hours. So we're in a different state now.
Looking ahead, Larry Flynt's Hustler Club is giving out COVID-19 vaccines this Friday. A pop-up clinic is being hosted at the club between 4 and 7 p.m. A similar clinic was hosted at the Hustlers Club in New Orleans this month. Now, workers gave out free shots of liquor to those who got vaccinated. No word yet, though, if that will happen at the clinic here. New at midday, at least 2 people in Clark County have died after being fully vaccinated against COVID. The Southern Nevada Health District adds 23 people have been hospitalized. Now, the county calls these cases breakthrough cases, which refers to people who are fully vaccinated but still get the virus. As of last week, it's identified 141 breakthrough cases. The health department says it expects to see more cases like these. And you can read the health department's full report on our website. Just head over to ktnv.com.
Incognito. Good job with them. All that shit up there. Those boxes. All that. Here we go. A little aerial view. Somebody said 180 boxes. That's a lot more than that. Or 180 pallets or whatever. A whole lot more than that. Look at all these body bags in here. I don't know what they're getting ready for. Bunch of them though. Alright. All people talking all that shit. Here you go. Tell me what this says. Can't do it all. I don't want to get in trouble. Alright. All people talking all that shit. Here you go. Tell me what this says. I can't do it all. I don't want to get in trouble. Alright, so here's another shipment going out. All that right there is the body bags. Another shipment going out. They come in and go out quick. They're coming in. Here's another load going out. They're going out in these unmarked trucks over here. Load after load. See? They're wrapping them up right there. FedEx is right there picking them up. In and out, in and out.